when we were coming along as institutions, somehow we were sold a bill of goods, and that bill of goods is you people need to imitate everything that you see someplace else. Don't worry about that stuff that's about you, okay? Because that's not going to ever get you anywhere. So for heaven's sakes, don't have African American studies. Don't do poetry and the arts. Don't do that stuff, because you need to be doing something concrete, right? And that's going to advance you people. That's the bill of goods we were sold. And so a phenomenal thing happened. When American institutions started being integrated, a flood of institutions developed African American studies departments. And so you have this interesting phenomenon where you can go to Tokyo, you can go to Germany, you can go many places around the world and find African American studies departments. Some of the best scholars of African American studies actually are German or Japanese, and so on. But guess what? Try finding it in HBCUs. And so we have not developed appropriately the expertise that we should have in the field that is most particular to our circumstances, and that is the history and culture of African Americans in this country. And it is a great shame in our history that we did not have the common sense a century ago to understand that was our duty first. It's not Princeton's first. It's not Harvard's first. And I've been traveling around this country for decades helping other institutions start African American Studies programs. I helped Harvard structure its program and recruit Henry Louis Gates there. I helped Princeton start its program. It's ridiculous. So the first thing that I did when I came to Prairie, you know what I said? What is the matter with you people? Okay? We have got to have African American studies, and so we do now. But we have got to claim the responsibility for doing this and not leave it to others to interpret us and who we are and where we come from and what we produce and so forth. Because if we leave it to others, guess what will happen? Policymakers will start talking about CRT and
That's right.
I don't know, don't teach the bluest eye. It's outlawed now in a lot of schools because other people say so, right? So anyway, I'm sorry.
No, I agree.
Go ahead.
No, I concur. And we have to stop allowing others to become experts on us.
Yeah. Well, I don't mind there being experts. I just don't want to be the only people who aren't also experts on us.
So I think it's important for our voice and our wisdom, our knowledge and our experience to be reflected. And so I'm happy to say we have an outstanding program on our campus, but we need to lead. We need to look at that program and see where should there be innovation, where should there be transformation, where should there be disruption as well, so that we can continue to lead in that area.
Let me tell you why this is important. I mean, you're going to be sorry you asked me about that. I remember as a student, and I was an odd duck. I was interested in literature and languages, and so I went to Harvard to get a PhD in Romance languages and literatures. And everybody told me, are you crazy? I mean, no black people that study Romance languages and literatures. And these were some of my faculty at Harvard telling me this. Okay, so it was not until one day a man named Mercer Cook walked into my classroom at Harvard. He was a faculty member at Howard, and his expertise was African literature. And until that moment, I did not understand the difference that the insights he brought from African literature would make for me because of my particular heritage. And I dare say, I think, that had he not walked into that classroom, I probably would have been a dropout at Harvard. And so I think for our students especially, to arm them with what it takes for them to know who they are and why they are who they are and what they're capable of doing, it is that important. And if I had my way, and I never do, I would make sure that every single student studied it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Wonderful.